culture.
Okay. Good.
I'm Priest, your host. Of course, I got my cousin, co-host with me.
T-Rex.
T-Rex in the house.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What's going on with you, man?
Nothing, man. I can't. I'm actually feeling talking about some stuff today, man.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, man. You know how it
yeah.
is. I start getting revelations.
You getting revelations, the
I'm
love.
hearing word from God.
God speaking to you.
Yes, God is
Is
speaking
that the
to
Holy
me.
Ghost?
Hey, I don't know what that was.
Okay,
But
man.
something's coming to me. Something is being downloaded into my
Okay, man.
spirit.
Shit, well, you can offload it today.
Okay, that's why I love it, man. This is my sanctuary.
And we in the sanctuary. This
Drinking my holy water.
This is the sanctuary. We got holy water. We got the congregation. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna take no offering. We ain't gonna take no tithe. But you can give a free will offering.
Stop it now. We don't want to lock them up in here. You ain't going nowhere.
And we ain't gonna lock you up in here.
I hear God saying there's 5 people that's watching that need to donate $500. Then I'm gonna work it out to 120. That ain't going no lower.
You keep on going down.
Yeah.
Like that old man. Hey, you remember them auctions they used to have? 500. You remember them joints? What the fuck? Where was that at? Like, was that only in the South?
Nah, that's at car auctions.
That's at car auctions?
Yeah.
Man, I remember seeing that on TV and stuff like that. The white man up there, hey, $1,000, $1,000, okay,
110 over here, 110 over here. Sir, what you gonna do, sir? 110, going once, going twice. Oh, okay, we got it. 102 and that $1,000 over here. Going twice.
I didn't know they still do that, man.
Oh yeah, they still do it. Trust me. I'll be amazed how people is hearing them and how fast they talking. I'm like, yo.
I thought they was just jabbering. And
no, they actually talking.
Gibbering and just saying a number. Hey, 1,000, 1,000.
Man, Twister ain't got nothing on them.
Yo. Man, well shit, we in here. No guns, it's not with the theme today, so I wanted to keep them. I wanted to keep them, but I say, hey man, let's just go and lift them up. We might bring them back, when the subject is appropriate.
Yeah.
But cowboy hats today.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? We got the boots on. You said you was gonna wear your boots. Man, I was feeling the cowboy wear, man. I could just keep doing it.
Yeah.
And for me, it ain't got to stop.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You done got me on it now.
Once you figure out your roots, your ancestors was part of that life, you're like, okay.
Yeah.
Because even though you don't got the cowboy, you still rock the boots.
Yeah, you can still rock the boots. And I got the belt. Got the belt on.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, man. But we back on relationships today.
Okay.
OG's Uncut Conversations on the culture. Religion, relationships, real life, so we go wherever the spirit leads, if you will.
Yes, sir.
But
amen.
Things seem to be, pointing back in the direction of relationships again.
Yes, sir.
So today we're gonna talk about a big taboo word.
Okay.
Accountability.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We warmed this up a little bit, but accountability. And in relationships, on both sides.
Okay.
Men and women.
Yes,
we want to discuss that. We want to discuss what the climate is like for accountability in relationships today. And where do we come from? Because we talked about, like in the past, how certain media, how we're influenced by media. Movies come out and movies are so closely tied into our culture, it influences behavior. Entertainment, music, media, sports, because it's so incorporated in what we do in our culture, we end up like life imitates art, right? And people start creating waves and trends based on what's going on in the big screen. So we're going to touch on some of that today, man. But accountability, open-ended question, man. What comes to mind when you think about accountability in relationships?
Discipline. Routine.
Hard words. It sounds so military.
Structure.
So militant. Okay.
If I'm gonna go to the street, don't speak about it. Don't speak about it. Be about it.
You said discipline. What was the second one? Structure was the third one. Routine. Discipline, routine, structure. None of those sound fun though. Because this is accountability in relationships, right?
Right.
So that's how you see it. Is that like would that be for men?
That's for both.
That would be both. Discipline, routine, and structure. Okay. What else?
Then to make it for the young people is you put up or shut up. Do unto others as you want others to do unto you.
That's a good one. That's a huge one.
Want to go biblical? Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. It's better than to give.
That's going into petty land right there.
Yeah, but it's better to give than to receive.
So you would say those apply in relationships?
Yes, sir.
Do unto others as you would have someone do unto you. Eye for an eye.
Yeah.
And what was that last one?
It
was another biblical one though, like eye for an eye. It's better to give than receive.
Yes.
I like those in the relationship context. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. To me, is an obvious one. It's
self-explanatory.
Yeah, it's popular because of the Bible, but it's common sense, right? Like it to me, that's like, I think that's a starting point of accountability.
Or we can use reciprocation.
Yeah, reciprocation. Reciprocation is Reciprocation is huge. I use that word a lot.
Yeah.
But like that one that you said, doing to others as you would have them, as you would want done to you. To me, that's the foundation, because if you know you wouldn't want it done to you, if you think like that, then you're gonna screen how you're treating other people in relationships. Right. But I think it's when folks ain't thinking like that is when you on some BS. Okay. So where you feel the climate is at with accountability in relationships right now? Do you feel like it's healthy? Do you feel it's lacking? Or
I would say healthy or lacking. I would say it's destroying.
It's destroying. What does that mean?
It's
destroying relationships.
Destroying relationships.
Accountability or lack of accountability.
Lack of accountability.
Okay.
It's destroying relationships.
Okay.
For our culture, I think is not. When I was in marriage counseling, they said, what's the number one thing for divorces, so to speak? They call it communication.
Communication.
I don't think that's for us. I think in our culture, I think it's accountability.
Wow. Say that one again.
Okay. In our culture, when we went to marriage counseling, most marriage counseling I went to, it was somebody of another culture. It was nobody black. It was either an Asian lady or a white person that was doing it. But for our culture, I don't think we hear communication ain't our word. I think the word should be accountability. Accountability, yeah. Because that hits more home for us. You know what I'm saying? Accountability. Communication is like, it's like my kids watching videos all day, and then I'm like, you know what? I ain't letting y'all watch videos no more. Y'all watching Sesame Street. Like, really? Now they just looking at, they hearing it, but they not paying no attention to it. So when you go to marriage counseling, they say, well, what's the number one cause of divorce? Most people say it's infidelity, but they say communication. We hear it, but we don't hear it. But when you say, well, you need to be accountable, for in our culture, that make us do this, like, what you mean? When you hear communicating, black people ain't gonna, they gonna like, okay, well, here we go with this communicating, blah, 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 like soap opera shit.
That's a great point, because I think communication is become cliche.
Yes, sir.
You know when you overuse something, it's like it loses meaning.
Yeah.
Because at one point, communication, it carried weight. That word, like, communication is important, and you still see on dating shows people will throw up like, communication is very important, and they'll go into this whole explanation about it. But it's become just this whole routine answer. It don't carry no more meaning no more, because you can communicate without being accountable.
That's what I was about to get to.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you cook, because it's like, that's what I'm hearing when you say that, and that's a great distinction, because you got people who smart, man, up here.
Yeah.
And they can get their point across right here, but they're not getting their self in order action wise through their behavior. They're just communicating. Yeah. And sometimes people can communicate good enough to get around accountability and what they should be doing. So
Yeah.
Go ahead and speak to that.
Yeah. So like I was saying, communication falls on deaf ears.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like a pastor. He's just reading the Bible. Like all right, I'm using examples. Like you can go to a Catholic church. The shit is just monotone.
Facts.
Is him my father? Da 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 da. You going to sleep?
And that music.
Yeah, but with accountability in the churches, and God told me, are you hearing me? Look to your neighbor. You're being proactive. You keeping the person's attention.
It's engaging.
Yes. Okay. So when you say accountability, it makes people ears. It makes people pay attention.
It engages people.
Yeah. Now they're paying attention.
Mm.
Now here comes the dirty work. When you start to break down what accountability is.
Dirty work.
Yeah.
All right.
That's when
that dirty work.
They ain't gonna go back like they don't want to hear. They start
shifting around. Yeah. You know what? It's funny because
words make people start shifting.
It's funny because sometimes your body language tell on you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You shifting around because you trying to avoid accountability.
Yeah.
You know,
you start looking at your phone, looking at your watch.
Coming this way?
You start scratching.
Let me move over here.
Yeah.
Let me move over here. It's like you trying to dodge it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
But accountability is has the same playing field of communication because it worked for both people. You see what I'm saying? But accountability, accountability is just not, okay, say communication is just with words.
Facts.
But with accountability, it's with words and actions.
Yeah.
Because when you bringing up accountability, you telling somebody something that you don't like or something that you do that they don't do. But guess what? It's communication, but it's action. You giving the noun and the verb simultaneously. Mm-hmm. When you're just talking, it's just like nouns.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Adjectives and adverbs to back up the action.
Yeah.
But with accountability, you're using the noun and the pronoun like this.
And you can communicate in the conversation with no actions for you, with nothing that you need to do.
Yeah.
In the situation. You can't do that with accountability.
Yeah.
When it comes to accountability, the action already enters your mind.
Yeah.
That's why people start shifting in the seat.
Yeah.
They because when you have an accountability conversation, everybody knows that there's gonna be something that you need to do as a result of the communication. You ain't just talking. Yeah.
And with accountability, it's cut dry. Because see, when you communicating, it's like you chasing, like, did you say it? Did you say it? And you going around asking everybody.
Right.
But with accountability, that person can't deny I did or didn't do. It's
That's
either
facts.
you did or didn't.
Right.
Accountability, when you talk to people, accountability, you get closer to the truth. Communication, that shit can last forever.
No doubt.
You just running around and spinning your wheels.
Yeah.
But accountability, you chipping away. You get to the truth.
Yep. And
that's why you start saying people.
Yeah, because it becomes uncomfortable. You're right, because with that communication, you can keep running in circles.
Yeah, it's back and forth shit.
It can go even longer, especially if you are good with words and you making the sound fly. You making it sound good.
We ain't getting nowhere.
But you're not getting anywhere. Yeah. So, but I think with accountability, it starts with the individual, obviously, because if you don't practice accountability as an individual, you're gonna have a lot of trouble practicing it in a relationship. But why do you? Well, go ahead.
No, I was going to say I think a lot of men will start going to marriage counseling if it was about accountability, too, because most of the times in today's time, women are wanting to go to. I had to put some icing. I'm putting icing on the cake before we cut into it and start eating. So if they change the language to accountability, and women say, you know what, we're going to marriage counseling because we need to be accountable for some things. Men will be hurrying up. Shit, let's go. Because we know what we're doing. That's part of accountability. We just not talking about what we're doing. But when I want to say we need to go to marriage counseling because we need to talk this out. Let me know how it went. I'm watching the game.
Hey, man, I got to say.
I'm just going to keep it real. I don't think a lot of women, I'm not trying to, let me knock on some wood. If a man say we need to go to marriage counseling about accountability, what people supposed to do, I don't think women would be quick to go to marriage counseling anymore.
Hey,
I'm sorry.
When you saying that, I hear a quote in my mind, man. I hear a quote.
Yeah.
It's a the guy, nobody know him, but he be in these videos. I think Lil Duval posts them. But he basically said, "You ain't never lied. You ain't never lied. You ain't never lied." Because if you're right, if counseling was about accountability, both ways.
Yeah, more men will go.
Men, not only would they go,
they'd be on time.
They'd be recommending.
Yes.
They'd be the one recommending.
Uh-huh.
Hey, man.
If I'm wrong, to tell me I'm wrong.
This is just our experience. Like we get it.
Yeah.
We only two men. Only two men. So y'all weigh in, because I know that I've been in relationships and and old girl come up. Hey, I think we need to go to counseling.
But it's just to talk.
To talk. And my friends have also had this. Their woman come to them. I think we need to go to counseling. But then when you get into counseling, she trying to avoid accountability.
It's just talking, communication.
And the guy is usually better with accountability.
Yeah.
Right? Because if that was a mindset, you're right. A lot of women would slow down because they know that I gotta own up to what I'm doing. Right? So I don't wanna hit on women here, but that's just facts.
Yeah, that's just facts.
In my experience.
In my experience, and most men and anybody in relationship, majority of the time is the woman that's recommending marriage counseling. But most men, they'll be honest, is because it's talking. But if men will hear, well, we're going to marry counseling because they want to know, or they hear the word accountability, men are more prone to go because your actions speak for themselves.
Yeah. So and the people, you said men are more prone to grow, and I say the relationship is more prone to grow.
Yeah, and prosper.
You can't grow without accountability.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because like you mentioned it, you said communication, you can just...
Yes.
Communication is really just to lay out a path that you're supposed to walk.
Yeah.
It's not about just talking to sound good. But I like what you said earlier. Accountability, you're sculpting out results. You're chiseling away. Right? So when the idea of accountability comes up,
accountability is just not talking. You have to go.
It changes you.
You got to put in some work.
Now, but why would you put this accountability thing in the context of our culture, right? Because you said that communication don't resonate with us for relationships in our culture. You said you feel like accountability should be the new word that we're using in a relationship. Why do you feel like that's like specific to our culture?
I'm glad you said it. This is my Charleston White moment where I'm gonna bring the heat. Now, I'm gonna use slavery for instance. Slavery was, in a sense, we was accountable for somebody else. We had to do work. And if we didn't produce it, it was a punishment behind it. But we do it when somebody tells us to do it.
Gotcha.
Now that we done came out of it, even though slavery was bad, we should have still kept the discipline, the structure, and the routine. Most of the people that you see that have that discipline, structure, and routine is your athletes, your superstars, the black people that is making it in life, even yourself in the position that you are. You have a discipline, you have a routine, and you have a structure. We should take that template of that discipline and routine and structure. We already had it, but we did it for somebody else. And since we did it for somebody else for so long, we feel inadequate to do it for ourselves now. Okay. We was accountable way before we went into slavery. But then when it was forced upon us, we felt like the only reason why we is working for free and tilling this land and working our asses to the bone is because somebody else telling us.
Right.
But now that we done broke away from it, it's like we are lazy now. And that accountability, we was accountable because we was doing for ourselves before slavery. We knew if we didn't do this, we're not going to get our crops. If we don't do this, we're going to starve. It was accountability. The man went out, the women didn't have no problem doing because they knew if the man is out, I'm accountable. Whatever he bring in, I have to cook it. If it's not cooked, he's going to be hungry and everything. So it's accountability, that discipline, structure, and routine. All that falls under accountability. But now after slavery, we did it by force, but we lost the true nature of what we was about. So when we broke away from it, it's like we said it's like we threw out what you call it. We threw out the bath water with
The baby with the bath water.
with the baby with the bath water.
Okay.
We got lazy.
Got a comment on that.
We got lazy with it
Mm.
and forgot. We threw everything out.
Mm.
Now throwing the water out is throwing away the slavery part, but don't throw the baby out because we lost that discipline. Now if we fast forward in today's time with this women empower movement, they throwing the baby out with the bathwater.
Mm-hmm.
And it's accountability. This go both ways for men and women,
mm-hmm.
especially with relationships.
Okay. I would, with the slavery example, I see it a little differently. I completely get what you're saying with the discipline, routine, structure, right?
Yeah.
So you're saying in slavery it was enforced on you, so you exercise those things,
right?
But then after that, over time, we lost it. Here's how I see it. I see it a little differently, but I think maybe slavery in a way might create laziness. It is giving you. It's like, you know how some people go into the military and you got all the discipline and stuff, but I guess that's what you're saying. Like when you come out, maybe you lose it because you don't have that.
Yeah, you throw everything away.
Right, but that's why I think that slavery maybe didn't help with accountability. And we're not saying slavery is good in any way.
Yeah.
But we just saying that. But I think that it hurt accountability because you're working for somebody else. It's like it's not coming from you.
Yes.
It's coming from external.
Yeah.
But here's where I think we lost it, right? After slavery, I did this math recently. Between the end of slavery, let's say Juneteenth was 1865. Black Wall Street was built and burned down in 1921. That's how many years? From 65 to 1900 is 35 years plus another 21. That's like 55, or 55, 56 years, something like that. If I'm doing the math right. From Juneteenth to when Black Wall Street was burned. So think about what that means. In under 60 years, Black people established entire communities with everything they needed. Banks, doctors, everything, right? So that was accountability. That we were demonstrating accountability, I think, after we came out from under slavery, because it's like we can't depend on that system to feed us, right? Like we're going out here and we're getting rations and stuff like that. Everything's on us. So you develop that internal discipline, routine, and structure. And we did that. Here's why I think we started losing it, because we had it clearly there.
Before and after.
Yeah, before and after, right? So before slavery and after, we had that discipline, routine, structure that brought accountability. But it was after integration is where we started losing that. And this is not something that we making up. You can look at the timeline and see how we were building, how families were structured, how there was accountability in the household. And then after integration, I feel like integration is more akin to slavery than segregation. Because integration put us in a position to where we're not running our own businesses. We're not controlling our own economic system in our community. We become dependent on another structure. And now we just like in slavery, you're laboring and then you're waiting for it to feed you. So it weakens your natural impulse to have that discipline, routine, and structure. So I think integration is more like,
I was working that before that.
Okay.
And with that, and then we fast forward. When you were talking, I was listening to that song, "This Is a Man's World" by James Brown.
Right.
It would be nothing without a woman.
Right. Facts.
And this is the balance that in a man's world, there's certain things that we need to do and accomplish. But the accountability, and that's the accountability for the man's side. But on the other side, well, like what you're saying with the integration, and then also when you talk about the women empowerment, that's where the accountability, to me, where women started to lose it. They started to lose their accountability.
Okay, women's empowerment, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
But if I can have you put, I don't want you to lose your thought.
Yeah.
But let's talk about that men's accountability.
Uh-huh.
Because you said you were hearing the song, or were you listening to it on the way over here? Or
no, when you were
thinking
talking,
about it now,
James Brown song, "This is a man's world."
Man's world.
But it would be nothing
without a woman, right?
Without a woman.
But let's
so
talk
that's
about
a 50-50 split right there. Yeah.
It's a 50-50 split.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the man's world real quick and then go to the women side of accountability. The man's world. We're the builders. We're the providers, protectors. The way we think and the way we're wired. It's not that a woman can't build, but a man is already psychologically oriented toward building, toward structure, toward providing things that protect the quality of life for the family, the community.
Yes.
Did we drop accountability as men in that regard, in larger society? Right, because we doing it for ourselves, you know. You got your place, you housing your family. I got my place. All my friends I know, they're providing on a personal level. But when it comes to men in society, there are men who are working together, but on a large scale, us and our community are not coming together and building institutions, businesses, whereby we have a common interest in those things. And those things are feeding the community, so that we drop accountability as men.
Yeah, that, and when you was asking me, I was thinking that we dropped our accountability as far as what we need and what we expect for the woman to do for us.
Say that again.
The part that you said, but then also as far as relationships, when you was asking, I was thinking about relationships. We dropped the ball. What we need from a woman to keep us going to accomplish our side of the accountability.
Okay.
Meaning, like, if a man is working, he's asking his woman to do this for him to keep him going. Women naturally used to do that without a man asking. That's her side of her accountability. Keeping my man healthy, strong. When he come home, he's stress-free and everything, so he will be able to perform he needs to be. That's her accountability side. Back then, during that before the women's power and movement, women, I think that power movement destroyed women's accountability, like you said, from that aspect, because they would feel like, well, since I'm working, I don't have to do this no more.
Right.
That's accountability there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Welfare
and all that. But even if you was getting welfare, it's still accountability there. Because, okay, the man is not home, but you don't have to, follow me now, you don't have to go out and work. You can basically sit and on your ass, so to speak, and just draw welfare.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but this is the kicker. You got so lazy. If you got time to sit in your house, why is your child failing in school? You should have enough time to be accountable, making sure your kid is up to reading. But since that male figure ain't in the house, you're accountable. You're accountable. If you're not going out to work and you getting food stamps and you getting money, it should not be no reason. If the man is ain't in the house, your child should not be failing. So that, I hate to say it. I said when we start talking about accountability, people gonna start moving. So I know it's a dig, but it's the truth.
Hey man, that might be too much truth right there. But I mean, this is the language.
Okay, we're talking about accountability now.
This is the language of accountability. Now we're not gonna stay on the ladies. I'm about to get on the men. I'm about to get on us.
Okay,
but we can't overlook what was just said.
Yes.
If you got that kind of time, why aren't you being accountable for ensuring that kid's success in school? Right, that's a whole nother thing. Yeah. But that's big facts, man.
But as far as the men, our accountability, I won't even say what accountability is, like what you said. I think we didn't add the responsibility. That's what we felt. We lack the responsibility.
Yeah. Now, I will say this
our community, because I think men are more built to affect our community. So where we needed to be more proactive as far as our community, now allowing certain stuff to manifest in our community.
Yeah, even when you talk about the war on drugs, man. I mean,
that's where I was about to go.
Yeah, like we allowed that, and I think we got to own that. Like we talked about the fact that we didn't go over to South America and bring cocaine in, but we allowed it in our neighborhoods, and I think that
was for men.
That for men, we talking men, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm not absolving the folks who put it in the neighborhood. They're responsible. We always talk about them because we know we didn't come up with it. We used it when it was made available.
Exactly.
But that right there is exactly our point of accountability.
But we're still operating and protecting.
Yeah.
We just went from in the house to our community.
And the thing about it is that, and this is why we have to have some of these conversations, because we really got to, if you don't take a look at your own history, even if it's recent history, and understand why we do what we do, it'll lower your self-esteem, because you look at it like something's just wrong with us. Right. But we got to understand the human psychology and why we do what we do. And it's not to make an excuse.
Yes.
But I'm thinking about a song, but I've been listening to Freeway this week. Remember Freeway? Yeah. You know that song?
From Philly, right?
Yeah, from Philly.
Right.
Even though what we do is wrong.
Yeah, I love that song.
That right there. Even though what we do is wrong, right, is what men were faced with, because jobs are being blocked. You can't feed, you having kids, but you can't feed them. You're not making the means, which we know was socially engineered to tie men's hands to limit their earning potential. And then boom, this illegal opportunity hits the street, and the man got a choice. And it's not just a choice he's making from here, it's a choice he's making from here. Shit, nigga, I got to eat. Now his survival instincts are challenged to say, do we do the morally correct thing, or do we eat? And even though what we do is wrong, that's where songs like that come from. They decided to eat, but we overdid it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Now to the point that it was.
But at the same time, the powers that be, I'll say, created this situation for us to have to make a choice with that.
They did. And I'm gonna say this. I think that where we have to become accountable is understanding that the powers that be is always gonna do that.
Yeah.
They always gonna put a choice in front of you that gives you the opportunity to fuck up your life and your community. And we, despite that, have to make a choice to not do that.
And that's where I said the responsibility for men is for us to control our community, to say, hey, we gonna tell y'all how it's being played, but we not gonna do that. And if we gonna do it, it's just for a certain time.
Yeah.
A beginning and an ending. But we're not going to make this a routine, a structure, or a way of life for us.
Right. And that's what
But men have to do it. Women can't do it.
Right.
So that's where we fail as being like the spokesperson for our community.
I see that. So it's really, we fail to use our voice for accountability. You're talking about a form of leadership that, hey, this is here as men, we gatekeeping the community to say, hey, this shit is going around.
That's for men to do, not women.
We're the enforcers.
Yes.
When we see this shit going around, we got to meet it while it's young. We got to meet it while it's in its infant stage, because when it gets grown like it is now it's hard to control. But I completely agree with that. Men, we dropped accountability, collective accountability for the community. Gatekeeping what's coming in, what's coming out. And even if it's not good, determining how we gonna use it to get into a better situation, and then get rid of it. You see individual success stories like that, like a Jay-Z who did exactly that on his level. That's why he named his album The Blueprint. He's saying, I'm the blueprint. This is the shit I was born into. I couldn't control that. But that instinct is kicking in, saying, nigga,
which we not knocking.
We not knocking. But that instinct is saying, you got to eat. Okay, I'm going to feed myself. I'm going to throw that on out, and I'm going to transition.
Yes.
So he is the blueprint.
Right.
He is the blueprint, Jay-Z, and what he was trying to model.
That's where we
in his
drop the
rap.
ball for
Yeah.
accountability is the responsibility, like you said.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
that's deep, man. And I'm gonna even add this before we go to the women's side. Like,
Right.
what we're talking about, the kind of leadership we're talking about amongst men in our community, in our household, is where we lost accountability. I feel like, again, we talk about slavery and integration. I said slavery is more akin to integration is more akin to slavery than segregation. Right? Integration and slavery are cousins because both strips you of your independent mindset.
Yeah.
Slavery is like all you got to do is sleep, wake up, and work or get whipped by master. Integration say all you got to do is sleep, wake up, work, or get whipped by master. Both of them motherfuckers got the same model, do they not?
Yeah.
Integration was like we gotta wake up, we gotta envision the future, we have to see what we need, we got to put the shit in order to build. Integration, segregation, you're actually taking control. And we're not talking about like the racial part of segregation.
Nah.
We're talking about the self-sufficient, the self-reliant part that came with the mindset. And I think
because if we didn't do it with that segregation, if we didn't do it in our community, it's our fault.
Yes.
It's our.
You can't look to nobody else.
Keyword, accountability. It's our fault.
So again, and we military men, so we got to take this one on the chin.
Yeah.
Our community was infiltrated.
Yeah.
Martin Luther King, unfortunately, like he realized, he said, I fear I'm leading my people into a burning building.
Yeah.
But then he got killed, and then his integration messaging was broadcast for everybody. Yeah. And then the men we tried, you saw different movements that tried, but weren't able to stop the infiltration that came with integration.
Yeah. And when you're accountable for your community with segregation, you really ain't got time to be focusing on any other ethnicity and their problems.
You don't.
But when they integrated us, you felt like our problems are their problems. What they're going through, you're getting detached from you, decide what we need. Now we're in a position. Oh, they're going to give us help. No, they're going to give everybody else they done integrated with you, and you ain't getting nothing.
Right.
But that accountability, integration, made us not pay attention to our own problems, our own issues.
Yeah.
And stay locked into that.
It stripped you of the need for a vision for yourself. And I'll quote the Bible on this. It's like a proverb that says, we always quote, my people perish for lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
But there's also a scripture that says, my people perish for lack of vision.
Yeah.
Right? Vision is very important. I keep bringing it up on this channel. But vision, men are accountable for vision. When you got a vision, you start building shit. They say if you build it, they will come, like in that old movie or whatever.
Yeah.
Like when you got a vision of the future, it affects how you move in the present. You start putting together shit and building it. And I think that's a part of leadership that integration and the crack era and all of that beat out of us. It beat the vision out of us and made us relying on the system.
And guess what? I'm glad what you said what brought to my mind. If we was accountable with segregation, we wouldn't have took the Bible so literally.
Oh, okay.
We wouldn't have took it so literally.
Okay.
Because we would have balanced what we read it with the Bible to our reality is because we're putting in the work.
That's facts.
So since we got integrated, we lost that accountability. So now we looking for the Bible to do the work for us. Instead of us reading the Bible and then going out. Like what's that saying? Faith without works is dead.
Right.
When we got integrated, we on the faith part, but we ain't trying to put in the work.
Yeah. Because I think it killed.
But with segregation, we would have been like, we believing in this, but we also got to go do something.
Because you're accountable for making it happen.
Exactly.
In slavery and integration, you're not accountable for making it happen. You're just accountable for showing up and doing your little part.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. Everybody, any society, you have to get up and do your part.
Yeah.
But when you're not building your own culture, your own businesses, industry, stuff like that, you can take that little vision, that pineal gland, that creative part that the creator uses to speak to your imagination and show you and give you imprints of what your future can look like, you can shut that whole thing off. I don't need this. And somebody else is dreaming about the future for me. I don't need to dream. I don't need to imagine. I don't need to invent it. I just got to sleep, have fun, and go to work.
And guess what Christians say?
What that?
I'm waiting on God to respond. What are you waiting for? If we didn't do that integration, you're going to wait, but you're not going to wait forever. You see what I'm saying? Right. With religion, I'm keep praying. I'm going to keep waiting. I was in church. I'm just waiting on the Lord. I'm just waiting. Goddamn, it's a certain time frame that being patient is wrong. You can't be patient for so long depending on the circumstances and the situation. But no, you in church and in religion, I'm going to still keep waiting on the Lord. Patience is a virtue. Goddamn, to a certain point, if you got accountability, you'll know when to say, you know what, fuck it. I got to make a move. I got to do something. Right. God forgive me, but I got to do something. But since we ain't accountable no more, we'll just keep saying, I'm keep praying. I'm going to keep praying. I'm going to keep giving up my money.
And when you wait and when
keep getting oil thrown on me.
And the answer you're waiting for
is just to get in motion.
But the actual answer, you should be creating your answer. But the answer you're really waiting on is coming from the folks who have the vision. Yeah. The folks who are building and controlling society is your God.
So you gave your accountability to somebody else.
You gave your accountability and your power to someone else. Because it's like, I'm just waiting on God, but really you're waiting on the system to shake out a result for you. Whatever that system is.
So you waiting on your puppet master.
Yeah, that's
put
what
the strings on you and then start moving you for you.
and this picture we're painting is showing you how religion can separate you from reality, the creator. Yeah. And not only does it separate you from interacting with your reality, your environment, but when you separate yourself from that, again, you limit your own innovation because your imagination has no need to explore options for the future. For what? Somebody feeding you.
Look at the facts. Where what you just said back in the early 80s, late 80s, early 90s, where most all your inventions came from. Black people. We was inventing like a motherfucker. Now we ain't inventing shit. So what we're talking about is spot on. It's factual. What you just said. Innovators.
What time frame was that again?
I said that it was the mid 80s, 1800s, the late 1800s, the early 1900s, and maybe some of the mid 1900s. Yeah. Since then. And this was before integration. Right. We was inventing during segregation. We was inventing during slavery and oppression. We was inventing beforehand, but we wasn't being fucked with. Right. Now, name one black person that invented something where they done won the Nobel Peace Prize. Before integration, man, it was niggas winning Nobel Peace Prizes under oppression and suppression, with the lack of education, with the lack of knowledge. And they was like, how these motherfuckers inventing this shit? And we are withholding mathematics and everything because we internalize, and like you said, the invention, the imagination, the free will thinking. This was all under suppression, slavery, before segregation. I mean, before
before integration.
Yeah. Now we done shut down.
You vibing on it because you look. I mean, even a George Washington Carver, had major innovations in agriculture
during what time?
During segregation, and and what we're saying,
during slavery just broke away or whatever. Yeah.
And this is a. That's why I call myself priest. You know what I'm saying? Cuz it's on that level. Yeah. It's like because it's a spiritual conversation. And this channel in a lot of ways is returning to the accountability that men should have. You're talking about vision. Men who are military minded understand when a strategy is being employed against you. And if you're a spiritually oriented man, you can look and say, okay, that strategy is being employed against us, and this is what it's doing. So this is where we need to focus at. So when we look at segregation and how innovation flourished, we understand as spiritual men that it's because the imagination was active. It had a reason. The imagination had a purpose. We are building. We all we got. So the imagination explores in ways that facilitate your survival. We have to build a community. How do we interact with people over here, over there? And we start doing things. Even though education is limited, withheld, and lack of quality, we still get all of that done. But when we enter into integration and now we're dependent on a system for everything,
accountability,
it kills your will to dream. You don't have a reason. You can just get up and plug in. You good.
You ain't got to use this no more.
Yeah, you ain't got to turn on the imagination, right? And this is the spiritual thing that we telling you on OG's Uncut. We have to. We're using segregation, integration as an example to show the mindset
and when it happened.
But we're saying that we have to reclaim the mindset. That's the baby that T-Rex was saying was thrown out with the bathwater. Yeah. We need to reclaim the water gone. We can't get that back.
Get the baby.
But we can get that baby.
Yes.
Men becoming men of vision, not just for ourselves, but for the community. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's we'll put a bookmark on that. Yeah. I think we pretty deep in. Let's touch on, you mentioned the ladies.
Right.
The women's empowerment, all of that stuff. How does that tie to accountability for you?
Oh, well, I use my example with me and my wife. We was just talking about this morning. And then my family members always said that, like, for instance, my kids are out of school for the summer or whatever.
Yeah.
But me being the type of person that I am, I like to be proactive, keep stuff fresh on the brain and everything. And I have a disdain. I have a beef with technology to a certain degree.
Okay.
Meaning, when we grew up, we can play Super Nintendo and Genesis, but we also went outside and played ball.
Gotcha.
So with this accountability with my wife, as far as like what I'm realizing with my wife, and I'm using my experience with my wife, so women can't say he just talking about women. Like how the Bible say, I'm gonna start from home first.
Right.
Before you can speak to the masses, you got to make sure your house is in order.
Right.
So that's why I'm using me as an example for you ladies and men.
Right.
But we was butting heads.
Okay.
Because I noticed when my kids are not on their iPads, their attention span for using their imagination is better. And my wife gets mad at me like, you shouldn't take their iPads away from them. And why, she said, why you get so frustrated with them? And I said, because if I can see them get on the iPad without daddy's help, and sometimes my son and daughters figure stuff out without even asking me and my wife, I need that same imagination for your schoolwork. We did it when we grew up because we didn't have that technology. When we went to school, they was teaching you to use your brain, figure it out. And what did they give you? They didn't give you a calculator. They only gave you fucking pencil and paper.
Right.
And you had to, boom. So I'm getting my son reading back up to speed and everything. And I remember me and her agreed that she would do her part with his schoolwork and I would do this part with his schoolwork. I'm doing my part, but the part that she was accountable for, she was using the reason why she couldn't do it was because of her job. And I said, no. Because if you can do it for your job and give your undivided and all your energy, you should be able to do it with your kids. And that's what I feel like with our culture, and the reason why I brought up slavery is because we're so quick to say what we can and can't do. And when I look back, and this may sound racist or something, but I see my people, they will burn themselves out to the fucking core for the white man. But the thing is, I see most black women burn themselves out for the white man and drop the ball on the shit that they're accountable for.
in the house.
In the house. Black man, he'll bust his ass for the white man, but he also is accountable. The men, I got to do this with my kids, regardless if we tired or not.
Do you feel like women's attention is for household responsibility is diminished, weakened because of the energy she exerts as a professional?
Yes.
Right? Because it's similar to what you said about your kid. And I noticed, it's funny you say it, because I noticed the same thing with my son. I just told you we went and got some books, right? Because I said, now I need you reading. Because I noticed when he's on this thing all day, I tell him to do something. I may give him like, go do this. When you get there, you see this, then get that. He'll go there and do 2 of them and come back.
Right.
Or do 1 of them and come back. Hey, what happened? Oh. Yeah. That attention. Immediately, I'm like, it's that iPad. Because it's doing something with your attention span to where when you come up out of it, your attention span is having trouble connecting with reality. So I have to pull that away from him. So I feel like in the same way, do you feel like women are more impacted than men with the energy they have to exert in the professional realm when they come home? Because what you said, it seems like men's attention for their accountability and responsibility in their house is less diminished by their work. You said they can go out and bust their ass and still come home and maintain that. But you said you notice with women when they go out and they give it all up at work, they have more trouble.
Yeah, they complain. I'm doing this all on my own. Men don't do that. And the thing is that I'm still being accountable of being a protector for my family, because in our culture, technology is good, but then it's bad. Because what I'm saying by that, I have noticed that most of your black kids, they're putting them in special ed. They're having a problem with their attention span. Now, when you look at the school system, most of the school system is Caucasian. It's not of our culture. So as a father, I'm protecting my son's education, and I'm teaching him discipline, structure, and routine. And my wife be like, well, why you don't back up? Because it's bigger than me. I want my son to automatically do these things, because if he goes to school to white person, he has the discipline to study on his own. He knows that I can break away. I have the will to not mess with my technology. I have to study. Or I can use my technology to study, because they're not going to do it for our kids. But it takes the men to enforce that. But women have a problem. Well, I don't say women. I use my wife. But I have seen most women get kind of laxy-daisy. And men being men, or men that can feel me on this, we never relinquish our responsibility and accountability. The men is really holding it down. We don't take no breaks. Right. It's really no break. It's just a way of life. It should be a way of our culture.
That's facts.
And my wife, she kind of like, and I noticed with my wife and many other women, they have a tendency to want to take breaks. And guess what? That's cool and all. But if that's what you need, stop trying to act and be like fucking men. That's what there's no other way. The reason why you getting frustrated, because you're not built for stress. It's so far that your body is built for stress, and it's built for stress bringing a child into this world.
I'm gonna chime in on this, because I got to give some credibility to what T-Rex is saying, because you might think it's he making a psychological evaluation that said women are not built for this. But I have to shout him out as a master fitness trainer. So he's a person who understands stress on the body, because he knows the science of muscular function. He knows that. He studied it for years. I've seen him before he started. I've seen his whole journey. I can't even remember now before he was a fitness trainer. So when he's telling you that the woman's capacity is less than the man to endure stress, she has an earlier limitation.
The doctor will tell you that.
The doctor will tell you this. So when the man goes out there, his whole biology, his makeup, physical and mental, is more fit for handling stress. So that man can go out and bust his ass on a construction site, whatever, and still come home
And have something on reserve.
and have something left. Whereas a woman who goes out and does the same or similar
It's a
comes
problem.
home and she's diminished though.
Yes.
So this is why we talking about. It's also a spiritual conversation, and so men like us, we come to the forefront and we bring this kind of stuff to light. Because if we don't show you that it's spiritual as well, you think it's just this is just a regular conversation.
Yeah.
Oh, we can go. We supposed to do this. Okay, go on and do it. But when you notice you get home and your capacity is diminished to do what's most important, we here telling you it's spiritual.
Let me bring let me make accountability more digestible for what you just said. We naturally, the way the Creator created us, our structure was made for a certain type of accountability. Let me put it like that. I'll say it like that. I think that's more digestible for women, and if men already got it, because we do it without being told. But this is I'm trying to say, maybe I'm trying to make it more digestible for women. The Creator created us in a certain way with stress that our stress levels was made to handle a certain type of accountability.
It's interesting because you just drew a relationship between stress and accountability.
Yes.
And that's an interesting concept, right? I don't know if you were doing it on purpose. But,
I wasn't. I'm speaking now. I'm really speaking from my spirit.
But you substituted, he substituted accountability in place of stress.
Yes.
So instead of saying a woman has a limitation on the stress she can handle, he said men were built a certain way to how'd you say for accountability
with the stress, the stress level that we was built for was for what we were designed for as far as accountability.
Accountability is the capacity to
stress.
endure stress.
Yes,
that's what it is. The two are married
because
because accountable means you're taking responsibility.
Yes,
responsibility means you're bearing weight.
Yes.
You're not just talking; you're bearing weight.
It's in your molecular structure,
right.
Just like a man. I was watching this show where they put this machine on men for them to feel what a woman feels when she's pregnant. No man can handle that.
Because she's built to endure stress there.
Through the Creator.
So she can be accountable for childbirth.
Yes.
Right? So she's accountable for childbirth.
This
so
is
she has a larger capacity to endure stress.
Her body actually changes.
Right.
Her hips spread and everything. Her body was built for that kind of stress. Because her body is accountable to bring a child into this world.
That's fucking bars.
Goddamn.
Fucking
Amen.
bars, bro. Accountability and stress. So we talking about the spirit. Now we done got into the spirituality of being a man and woman. And how a woman's body is accountable because it has a capacity to endure the stress of childbirth. And likewise, a man's body, his molecular structure, he's accountable to bear the burden of the household, of the community.
And to enforce.
And to enforce that. That's why he's able to, and he has a larger capacity for stress in that regard. Going to work and still holding it down at home without being diminished.
And that's why the Creator, that's why naturally and socially, men normally pass away before the woman.
Because they're doing stress. They're
doing stress, but we're wired and trained to do that.
Right.
And we're built for that.
Right.
We're not complaining that we may leave early. I mean, me honestly, I'd rather leave before my wife leaves because she's a nurturer.
Right.
But while I'm here, I'm developing discipline, structure, and routine.
Right. No doubt, man. No doubt, man. And I think you mentioned a good point. You know, we like to champion mental health here and health in general. You know, you mentioned a lot of times men go before women, and it's because of our capacity to be accountable for bearing the burden of family and community.
And we take it, we do it with pride.
And we do it with pride, but
honor.
Sometimes it shortens our journey on that side of things. But I think with that in mind, you know, as a society, men to men, women to men, don't overstress your man. He's already doing
Yeah, I
it.
was gonna-
But sometimes
yeah.
you can drive your man to the grave. And I think the way accountability is, and we spend more time talking about the men's need for accountability. We ain't touch on the ladies much.
Right.
But I'm saying I think the way the social climate is now is in relationships. I see the man is still being held accountable, and then in a lot of cases the woman makes the man accountable also for what she should be accountable for.
Oh yeah.
In a lot of cases, and I say that not to pick on the ladies, but I say that to say that you're sending your man to an early grave. You know, when you're overloading him with stress, when there's imbalance in the relationship, somebody's bearing more burden than they naturally supposed to do.
Right.
And that can burn you out and send you out of here faster than you're supposed to go. That's why it's important for folks to understand their role in relationship and what they should be carrying.
Accountable for.
Yeah, what they should be accountable for. That's important.
That goes without speaking. And I mean, I'll touch on with the women. I was watching, you telling me about Baby Boy, and I was watching, and Taraji P was sitting on the couch telling her girlfriend, these two women talking, she like, yeah, Jody done got me pregnant. And her girlfriend was saying, girl, you need to leave his ass. If it wasn't for him, you wouldn't be pregnant, blah, 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 blah. And then Taraji kept it real. She said, no, it take two people to have a baby. But then Taraji said to her, girl, don't you got a man to beat upside your head and whoop, 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 and whoop, 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 whoop. Through that whole conversation, Taraji showed accountability. Her girl is spreading more poison and venom, not looking at her situation like, hold on, I need to be accountable when I'm telling her. Right. Because my man whooping my ass. I ain't got a kid by him. Right. He's living with me. He ain't paying no bills. Right, so before I get on Taraji, I need to be accountable for my shit. Right. That's Taraji had to tell her, like, girl, ain't your man B? Don't you still got a black eye right now? And Jody didn't hardly do none of that shit at that moment because he said Jody would never put his hands on me. Right. You know what I'm saying? So she's spreading poison, but you full of poison.
Damn. Hey, man. Baby Boy, we ain't even cracked that movie like we thought we was going to do.
Yeah. But I think
conversation went where it needed to go, though.
Yeah, this like we always said, this might be a part 2.
Hey, yeah, it could be a part 2, man. Yeah, we gonna go ahead and round it up, man. You got any other thoughts, last thoughts?
Nah, man. I'm glad that what we talked about. We touched on the men and a little bit of
on the ladies, yeah.
The ladies, but I will say this: touching on the men, it still should have opened. We got to do a part 2, but touching on the men should at least open the women's eyes up.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's by default they should be like, damn, I never looked at it like that.
Yeah.
Damn, I'm tripping, and I shouldn't be tripping.
Right.
I shouldn't be complaining when I shouldn't be complaining. If anything, I need to be doing my part. I need to be doing more. It should be where you should be able to go and rub your man's head and say, baby, do you need anything?
Right.
So, fellas, you might need to give us an offering. If they watch this and you wonder why she cooking you something to eat all of a sudden.
We talked about
or she's saying, thank you, baby. I really appreciate everything that you do. Send that offering in.
Yeah, send that offering.
Don't let me pull a Marvin Sapp and arrest you and
we ain't gonna close the door, but send that thing in, man. I enjoyed this conversation though.
Yeah.
I love how our conversations go because we don't. It's not scripted. Sometimes I have some points here, but sometimes the conversation is one that we just let flow. And today I'm glad we did that because we came to the conclusion that accountability is spiritual. And the thing about it, when we return to our original spiritual perspective, we see that everything's related. So you can see how your biology and your psychology are related to your performance at work, and how that's a spiritual thing because it impacts you here, and how your energy, your capacity to endure stress is your capacity for accountability. Because when you're accountable, you're bearing the burden of responsibility. So when you start looking at it through these kinds of lens, you can see where what a man is more suited to do and what a woman is more suited to do in a relationship dynamic. And we stop debating about what society says you should be doing. We're paying attention to who we are, and we're doing what works for the collective.
And I think prevalently hypertension runs in the Black community is because of the imbalance of our accountability. Of course it's food or whatever, but I think a lot of our stress is not food. Right. It's accountability. And I feel like when we start to share the burden, which is accountability with stress, I think hypertension won't run so prevalent in our community. And we really need to work together because everything is stacked against us already.
It's imbalance in how we're carrying our burdens.
Yes.
In relationships, households, community, it's imbalance. Because when you say it's because of accountability, I'm gonna go to that root imbalance. Because according to our spiritual system, ma'at, balance, right? Sin is really imbalance. If you want to go there, right? If you want to get the universe's definition of sin, that would be like imbalance, because imbalance is what causes sickness and dysfunction everywhere, whether it's mentally, psychologically, physically. Imbalance is what causes that disease.
And it being too righteous can be an imbalance.
That's an imbalance. And religion causes a lot of imbalance. Hey, my book is coming out.
Hey.
It's here. And we're going to end it with that because one of the 7 spiritual pillars in the book is balance. So what I'm breaking down now is in there. It's in there.
It's a must read.
It's in there.
For all the followers that didn't hide but subscribe, get the book.
Get that book.
Get that motherfucking book.
Get that thing.
It's going to do everything it needs to do. Trust me. I ain't even going to say what it's going to do. You're going to feel it.
Yeah.
Since y'all like to be in y'all feelings, get the book.
He said since y'all like to be in y'all feelings. Yeah, it's going to do what it need to do, because the title is Life After Religion, My Journey into History and Healing. And I thought about this. Because at first I had a journey into history and healing. And I said, I need to make it personal, my journey. But I was thinking about myself. But what I realized this morning is that whoever is reading it, it's going to be your journey when you read it. You know what I'm saying? You're not reading about my journey. I'm putting you in the mind frame to see your own journey.
Yes, sir.
In religion, where it came from, and if you choose to leave, where the path goes. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You're going to see your journey in that. So get that book. I got to click this. You know what I'm saying?
Please
get that thing.
It.
Hey, you don't want to miss it. That's all I can say.
Man.
It ain't nothing like it on the market. You don't want to miss it.
Boy.
All right. So this has been OG's Uncut Conversations on the Culture. And as we always say, don't you watch and hide.
Like and subscribe.
There you go. We out.
Peace.